Louis City.
What's up, St. Louis City fans? Today is May 28th, and yesterday, our boy Dan Findley over here got to experience his first ever St. Louis City game versus the Vancouver Whitecaps. It was a 3-1 victory. How was it, Danny?
I thought it was pretty great. I mean, first game that I've been able to see, first time in the stadium. It was definitely cool. I feel like you notice a lot of things when you're actually at the game that you don't notice just from TV. You know, for one, my level of respect for Stroud just plummeted. But
Mine was never there.
I liked him a lot, but, I still like him. But that's just one thing. Other than that, it was great atmosphere, great to see the game, and I think it was a great one to go to. You know, Perez with his first goal at home, and overall very entertaining.
Absolutely. One thing I always notice when I'm there is it always seems a lot louder when you're actually there. I feel like Apple has a way of leveling the sound on the TV, makes it seem a lot less hellish than it is in real life because I mean, were you guys were opposite of the supporter section?
Yeah. So we definitely weren't hearing, like, I guess all of the chants that well. But, I mean, you could just tell, like, when Miggy subbed on, the stadium got so loud. And then when he scored, I mean, it was, like, the loudest I've ever heard the stadium, I think.
He graduated on Thursday.
Nice.
From high school, man.
Yeah. Graduate Thursday, score on Saturday. Any given Saturday.
Graduation present.
Yeah. He shows that to be true. Awesome. Well, we can get into that as we go on, but welcome to your first game.
Thank you.
It's definitely a titillating experience. Nice
Very
cup.
titillating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had Danny on the pod today because he's been a long time soccer supporter with the rest of us, and he's from out of town normally. So,
but he's from here.
Yeah, it was great to have him back in town. So
yeah, and they're brothers.
Yeah.
Just so anybody can know. And also,
me and Danny.
Miggy graduated on Thursday. When did you graduate, Dan? Congratulations.
Last Saturday. Thank
yes.
you.
Good job.
Hell yeah. Congratulations. The easy part's over.
Now you just got to work for 45 years till you retire.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay. Well, yeah. Getting into the game, we started off with the same formation as the last game against Sporting KC, and this was actually the first repeat formation that St. Louis City has ever had. So up until today or yesterday, they had changed up their lineup every single game. So kind of interesting stat. I was surprised to see Hebert starting at left back over Nelson. What do you guys think about that?
Second time in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Hebert is pretty cracked and has to start. And also Nerwinski, revenge time versus old club. And
True.
Got to get him in there.
Yep, he
was
definitely
pretty good. So, for the most part, other than the close red. But
yeah.
Which time?
I feel like that was a good call from Mr. Carnell.
Yeah, I think our entire defensive line had pretty good games, I'd say. I think Lucas Bartlett was the standout performer.
God tier.
Yeah, Bartlett looked like prime Delit today. Maybe that's an understatement.
Yeah.
Maybe
prime Sergio Ramos.
Yeah.
He's making a lot of last-ditch
And, with the
clearances.
ball, he was feeling himself. He was doing some little, unnecessary,
flashy
back heel touch when he had space and then putting off some good passes. Even, when sometimes it would be a corner or something and he would somehow get the ball in the corner and he would just stick his arm out, body, look up, and try and find a pass. He was just so good everywhere today or yesterday.
We're going to have some serious questions for those center back positions come soon. Once Nielsen.
No questions for me. You got to prove it.
Who do you want?
Well, I mean,
Who'd
right
be
now,
your starting two?
Okay, well, Bartlett for sure. After yesterday, I don't know. I thought he was truly cracked.
Yeah.
Also, that block that he had.
He had a couple.
And he had some
He had
crunching
some
tackles.
slide tackles.
He won 50 headers, and I don't know.
Don't quote us on that.
I do like Tim Parker too, and I used to think Parker was better than Bartlett, but yesterday definitely Bartlett was a standout. And I don't know, it's easy to say, oh, Nilsson's going to be good, but he's coming back from injury. He could be buns for a long time. So
True.
I think Hebert over Parker.
a center back,
Yeah.
he a little guy though. I feel like
He got bunnies, bro. Tim Parker not that big.
Tim Parker big.
He big, but
Tim
not,
Parker is
he not
big and he's graceful on his feet. I feel like he's
What
always
are-
on his
Are we
toes.
watching different?
Nah.
Tim Parker, I have complete faith will win every single aerial duel that comes his way. That's what
Tim
I'll
Parker,
say.
I have complete faith will get burned in every single race that he has to be in.
I think Hebert is faster than Parker, and I think he's better like on the ball and defending on the ground. But Parker in the air is, I think he's our best defender in
so
the air.
maybe we've found our answer to Nelson sucking ass.
I do like Hebert on either side. I mean, he played on the left and the right this past game, and I mean he can do it. He can do it all.
You know, I think you guys love Hebert maybe just a little too much because I noticed in the first 20 minutes he had 3 long balls straight to their back line.
That's pretty common.
Yeah, I guess
MLS
that's
tactic.
I guess even Leuven had 3 or 4 of those straight to their back line. But
Berkey
no
has
hate.
that.
We did get that own goal from a long ball straight to
Oh,
their
yeah.
back line.
What you hating for? This is the
You're right,
MLS
you're right.
dog. Anything's a shot.
I was surprised when the stadium displayed the pass completion percentages and St. Louis had 73%. I was like, that seems a little bit low, but
No.
I guess just average.
Them boys be feeling themselves at the wrong time. They be trying to string some crazy shit together, and it does not work sometimes.
But
I do feel like we had some good strings of passes this past game.
yeah,
Agreed.
Better than when we were running the 4-4-2 right after Klauss got hurt. I feel like we looked really disconnected then, but we've definitely turned that around, started figuring out how to play without him. I think Vasilev, we said this last but Vasilev being at that 10 position is just really he's very free flowing and he just brings a lot to the field.
agree. And also, I don't know if we got to stick to the schedule, but before I disrespected Hebert, he did have some good defensive moments as well. But
True.
I agree. Vasilev, he looked like prime Iniesta. He was, except comparing him to Iniesta would be a disrespect to Vasilev because he was working his ass off.
True.
And also, today no one will talk about Gioacchini because he had no goal or assist. But I thought that he actually was very good, linking up play. Him and Vasilev had a lot of one-touch passing that was pretty crispy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I thought it was pretty good.
Danny, once upon a time before the games really started, I guess it was the third game, I said, when I say Edward Leuven, Kevin De Bruyne comp, but better.
Yeah, I think I was telling Jonah yesterday, Leuven, I think he really Paul Pogba reincarnated because
Yeah.
they
They do
both
have-
they big, long leg, win lots of headers, play
Flashy.
some dime balls, do some stupid stuff
Play
sometimes,
some shit
but
balls.
but then we'll come out and score a banger or I don't know.
I like that comparison. I didn't think about it, but it was a good one.
Hopefully, not the injury prone comparison.
Yeah, true. Well, he's been good so far. No injuries so far.
True that.
All right, so
Let's
I
get
guess getting into the timeline of the game, the first real chance was in the 7th minute. Nico kind of rolled a shot to the goalkeeper. Wasn't really a great one. Any comments on that one?
Can't score them all.
Yeah.
He's a striker.
Hey,
It looked
I'm-
like he
I'm not
barely
here to-
shot it.
I'm not here to give Danny the benefit of the doubt. He's a striker, man. I don't.
hey, man.
Man, I like my striker when he doesn't score goals, man.
It's like
I don't agree with that.
a couple months ago, Mourinho said, "Today, no one will talk about Tammy Abraham because he did not score. But today, I want to talk about Abraham because he worked hard and passed or something." and that's what Gioacchino. Well, I mean, he did. I
He
felt
did
like
dive a lot.
I felt like he had a lot of good passing with like Vasilev and Leuven. That I mean,
I wonder how many shots on target he had.
Who, Gio?
Yeah.
maybe
I thought he had a pretty quiet game. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. He worked hard and he got some good passes.
That was his only shot.
Never mind. Trash.
Nah.
I take
he
it
had
back.
some good link up, setting up Vasilev to create and stuff, and I don't know, drawing
And
defenders
also,
away.
he did put that shot bottom corner, and his expected goal on target was .79.
What?
So he did place it pretty well, according to.
Yeah, probably
expected goal.
placed it with 0 power.
Yeah, no, he definitely like
Definitely.
rolled it, but.
Sorry, Dan, I'm not letting him off the hook.
It's okay. I mean, it's not like it was his best game, but I was still impressed with
Yeah.
some of the one-touch passing.
He'll be great when Klauss comes back.
And speaking of the one-touch passing, I thought that's something that Vancouver did really well. Like, they were able to work the ball side to side through our press really well because of their one-touch passing. And, like, I kind of wish that we could do that more on offense because that's really, like, the best way to get through defense, I feel like. Just work it through and don't give the defenders time to, like, adjust to whoever has the ball. So, it was kind of... I was impressed by their one-touch passing. I'm not going to lie. But anyway, getting back into the game, 10th minute, this is where Vasilev got fouled over on the left wing by Sebastian Berhalter, and then Leuven had that free kick, and what do you know? He scores it. It was like, 35 yards away?
Yeah, what do you think? Shot or cross?
both.
Yeah, I think that's honestly exactly
Calculated.
what you're supposed to do.
Classic Willian goal.
Agreed.
Whipping a cross that could very easily be a
Agreed.
shot as well. But except it didn't bounce off the ground. It was upper 90. Man, that curl at the end of the shot was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So crazy it got on Bleacher Report.
Really?
Yeah. And they don't
Nice.
do
They don't do MLS.
they don't do St. Louis. Nobody does St. Louis.
His expected goal on target was .66 on that shot.
Hey, the devil is alive.
That's
What
pretty
was the
good.
XG in general from
.03, probably just because of the range. But I mean, he did place it perfectly top right. And I mean, when you're out on the wing like that, what you want to do is try to curl it to the back post so that like one of your players can try and head it like into the goal, but if no one touches it, it'll still be on target, and that makes it really hard for the goalie. So Leuven did really, really well there.
Goalie was out of his element last night. He was in no man's land consistently. My boy had shit running down his leg all night. He had no clue what was going on.
Yeah, but still, credit to Leuven.
Yeah.
Literally, if he put that shot anywhere else on the goal, it's not going in. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I feel like, I mean, I don't know. We don't have our resident goalkeeping expert here today, but I feel as though that's probably a really hard one to save because you're waiting for a cross, waiting to like save a header or grab a cross or something, and then it just goes top left, like.
and it was like it was above him if he's standing anywhere else except for like right on the post. So it really is just like very difficult for the goalkeeper there.
Yeah. I think a really good goalkeeper would
Yeah.
save that easily.
Agreed.
I think Berkey would have saved that.
I feel like
I think a taller goalkeeper would have saved that a little
okay,
easier.
maybe Berkey would have saved it, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like the back post, like free kick, cross, those kind of goals happen somewhat often.
Yeah, it's definitely hard for the goalie.
Because after that, the goalie literally lost all composure. He didn't recover
Wasn't it
from
their-
that at all.
Was it their backup goalie?
Yeah, it was. He did wear number 1, but they had brought in the Japanese guy Takaoka, and he's been starting the past however many games. So, yeah, it was interesting to
Any
see.
given Saturday, man,
Yeah,
you get the call up.
I know they had a
and you piss your
midweek.
pants.
They had a midweek game, so I don't know if it was like the goalie got tired, but I mean they're not really
Doubtful.
running. Yeah. So yeah, I guess next notable moment in the match was Jake Nerwinski getting a yellow card for a late challenge, and I thought like other than this, I thought Nerwinski had a good game against his old team.
Yeah.
I think our team has a habit of playing with fire, especially at home, and we get away with a lot. But I agree, he did have a really good game, and he's never going to be the attacking defender that we hope for in wing backs, but we don't really need that, I guess. I don't know. He was good. That was a really bad tackle.
Yeah, that made me wince.
Yeah.
I didn't see a replay, so I don't know.
No, it was bad.
When I first saw it, I was like, that might be a red card, but
no ball, all ankle.
And there was also another moment in the first half where he kind of got bailed out because it was offsides. But I don't know if you remember, he ran all the way to the left side of the field, covering a long ball or something, and the entire right side was completely open. That foul, and then I guess a couple fouls later on were the only kind of
suspect moments.
And also 3 horrific crosses delivered, but otherwise, still.
Yeah, he was
game.
1 for 4 accurate crosses. He did have 5 recoveries and 2 interceptions, which is what you like to see. So yeah, I mean,
he needs to get a new barber.
He does have that military buzz
Definitely
cut.
built like
his
a
any given
Marine.
Saturday is the draft.
So then, 2 minutes later, Tim Parker also got a yellow card, and that one was definitely, I didn't think it was a foul. It looked, even on the replay, like Tim Parker he stepped in after the ball had gone from the player, but the player just jumped and flopped on the ground after Tim Parker missed his foot.
Show.
That's what it looked like.
I watched it from home and they replayed it, and Tim Parker just does everything a little more aggressively than the average person. So even when he was frustratingly stomping after the clean challenge, it kind of looked, I guess from the referee's perspective, but what the hell's VAR for if not to overturn bad calls? Because he didn't touch him at all. The commentator was like, "Wow, he really stomped through him there," and I'm like, "No, he did not. He literally did not." Yeah, he just stomped next to his foot, and then old boy just went to the Oscars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's kind of tough playing with 2 yellow cards on your back line.
Within 2 minutes.
Yes, in the 20th minute, you still got a lot of game left.
And both of them are hotheads. Honestly, all 3, maybe all 4 of them are a little bit hot-headed.
I think Hebert was the coolest, calmest head out there.
Which is not a good sign.
Bartlett also cool as a cucumber.
So this game.
I thought Tim Park, actually, there was one moment where after he was on a yellow where I was a little frightened, but I thought generally he remained calm after that yellow and didn't do anything too crazy.
I'm sure Jonah will cover it at some point, but I know for a fact that Nerwinski could have gotten a red card this game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nerwinski for sure.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a sec. So I guess last couple things of the first half. 45th minute, St. Louis City scored their second goal. Leuven tried to play a long ball into the box for Gio, and one of the Whitecaps center backs tried to intercept it, head the ball back to their goalie, but the goalie had also decided to come out and try and catch the ball, so the center back just headed it into their own goal. Yeah.
What a finish, lad.
Prime Drogba.
Put him up top. That goalie must have been just completely silent the entire game because you need to shout.
It seemed like it was both of their faults because the goalie, I don't know, it seemed like he was way to the side also for some reason. And then I don't know why the defender headed it back that way.
If your entire team has their back to you, you have to announce everything that you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, the goalie can see.
The only goalie rule is yell a lot.
And I guess if you see that your defender is going to go for it, then maybe don't go up for that. I don't know. Is it bad goal? Who
I think that's
who
on
messed
the defender.
up worse? Okay.
Because that's if the defender leaves it, the goalie's getting that easy. That's
or goal kick.
Right. But the goalie was there. he was going to catch it.
Actually, yeah, true. I do blame defender.
It was a good finish.
But I do think goalie also partially at fault.
Absolutely.
But I do feel as though this goal was huge wind out of the sails for Vancouver. They were clinically depressed after this.
I think the game could have easily been way closer than 3-1, and we could have been on the wrong end of it if things had gone a little bit differently.
Well, they actually outscored us in XG. They had 1.2 and we had 0.9. So that's kind of funny.
Well,
don't get the statistical boys out around here. They'll have a heyday with
hater.
it.
And it's funny because Danny is a data analyst. So stat lover. Yeah.
There's more to sports than stats.
True.
As we see every week when we win 4-0 and we have an XG of 0.7.
Yep.
Which may be indicative of us going
lucky.
Back to a slide at some point, but we'll take it while we got it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Vibe merchants for real.
So then also in the 45th minute, Berkey had that crazy save, right?
Yeah.
What happened there, Danny?
I don't even know. They might not even classify it as a save because it mainly was like stealing the ball from the dude dribbling. The guy got like actually it was like a long ball over the top, and then Berkey like rushed out. Then he was like, oh wait, never mind. And then like ran back a little, and the dude was charging him, and then he like tried to dribble around him, and he did kind of like a fake shot, and it looked like he
tried to
sold
ball roll.
Berkey. Yeah, and I was like, this is bad news. I thought he was for sure going to dribble around him and just tap it in. But Berkey, like, literally did the splits, and with the very tip of his right foot, he, like, just rips the ball from him. And I don't know. It's like his leg wingspan was, like, 6 foot. I don't know.
For real.
I don't know if that's, I don't know how you define leg wingspan, but he really stretched him out long. And that dude just could not get around him. So
I think Berkey might have ended up with some turf burn where the sun don't shine on that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Yeah.
Groin injury.
Dragging his nuts.
It looked like Berkey like initially ran out. He was gonna go for the ball earlier, and then it was like Leuven or one of the center backs was on the ball, and it looked like the center back just kind of stopped walking towards the ball, and Berkey thought that he was going to go for the ball, so he stopped running towards it, and then the forward on the Whitecaps just took the ball and started dribbling at Berkey. So it could
Hockey
it was
save.
pretty dangerous. Like they really probably should have scored there. And you I don't know. I don't think the goalie has the best chance of saving that most times out
That
of
man
10.
could be a hockey goalkeeper the way he can stretch.
That striker really did not have the best game to do with the curly hair. What's his name?
That was let's see, what is his name?
The one that scored?
Betcher. Yeah, that guy.
He wasn't the one.
He had, I feel like, a few chances to score and kind of fumbled, and also he had that one where he was right in front of goal and could have ripped it, but then tried to cut it across, and it was just a terrible pass. That guy will not look back fondly on this game.
I think a lot of teams, I don't know, how was the atmosphere where you guys were at?
It was pretty good. I mean, the supporter section was definitely probably louder, but it was still loud. Everybody was standing up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Some teams just don't know how to hang in that kind of environment.
Yeah,
Really
and
don't
we
bring
talked
their best
about
game.
Vancouver being really poor away from home. I think that makes it 7 away games without a win this season. Like all of their away games, they haven't gotten a win. So
we got a nice little home stretch to get our form together,
and
which
looks
is
like
nice.
we've been taking advantage so far.
Well,
past
we got
2 games.
one more
Mm-hmm.
until we have another away game.
Yep.
Hell yeah! Top of the West, by the way. We're back on top for now.
For now. Nice.
We got one game in hand on Seattle.
That's a lie.
Oh, Seattle won last night?
Yeah. Wait, so we have 2 games in hand against them. And we're only a point
We were
behind.
on the top of the table last night when we won, but I guess Seattle played
Very briefly.
when I went to bed.
Yeah,
so.
they probably played at 9:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. West Coast.
My bad.
So anyway, second half, Sebastian Berhalter gets a yellow card. Good. We hate him. We hate his dad. We hate the family.
Hate all of them.
Yep.
That's his dad? Greg Berhalter's his dad?
Greg Berhalter's his dad. Yeah.
Wow.
That was actually like kind of some of the – there was a theory that the reason that Gio got benched at the World Cup is because Gio's dad, who was the sporting director at whatever club Berhalter was at, didn't play Berhalter's son, Sebastian Berhalter. And so Greg Berhalter was getting revenge by benching Gio in the World Cup. That was one of the conspiracy theories, which I don't know if that was proven
Seems
or not.
like both of those families are a bunch of goofballs.
Yeah.
Even
Seems
though
like-
I support the Reyna family more.
Even though they leaked the domestic abuse incident to the press.
Yeah, definitely
When
some
it-
question marks.
From like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm going to get this man fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it worked.
Let's go. And now we have Balogun, so
Hey, all
It's
things
looking
falling
up.
into place.
looking up for the national team.
Berhalter's stay away from the national team. The way that man played, he's not touching the national team.
But then, yeah, so in the 52nd minute, Leuven had a shot from like 35 yards out that was saved. Or no, it went over. And then Stroud hit the post a few minutes later. And then 60th minute, we see Nerwinski kind of run into those challenges we were talking about where he was already on a yellow card. He had like 2 fouls right in a row, 60th minute and 61st minute. The second one, I was definitely like, man, this guy needs to chill out
He
or
needed
get
a
subbed
sub.
out. And yes, so Carnell subbed on Nelson for him a few minutes later, but he could have very easily gotten a second yellow.
Yeah, man was asking for it. I'm not going to lie.
He just plays with his heart on his
Nah.
sleeve.
If we're away and he makes that second challenge, I think that's probably a red. I think we got home field advantage pretty down pat on that one. At least I like seeing Carnell take an active role instead of a passive role, because I think in the past he's been very passive on his tactic changes and his just taking control of the game from the sideline. And I feel like lately everybody's taking responsibility for themselves, except for Nowinski. He's just doing whatever the hell he wants out there.
Yeah, but let's not. I feel like he had a good game for the most part, other than those passionate moments, we'll call them. But I also think if you're talking about Carnell being active, this man Celio should have been subbed at halftime. He was disappointing, very disappointing. I feel like he lost every single dribble he attempted, and he has 0 pace, 0 strength, 0 aggression, and 0 jumping.
0 passion?
0 passion, certainly. And I don't know. I would have loved to see Jensen come on.
No, Jensen's not good enough. to
Yeah,
start.
I know you guys hate on him, but still, Celio is not good enough to start after
Celio's
that
better
display.
than Jensen.
Did you see the last
That's true.
first half?
Jensen has a habit of dribbling the ball directly into defenders.
And
Yeah.
Celio's habit is the same.
Well, apparently Celio had 2 for 2 successful dribbles.
What?
We have a hater, ladies and gentlemen.
But I will say,
Caught on camera.
it seemed
Look at
like
the
he
camera.
dribbled past the defender, and then he would just like get caught up
Yeah.
too, and the defender would just block his cross or shot or whatever. I don't know. I was definitely a big advocate for Celio the past few games, especially because Alm was hurt. But I don't know.
I
He
don't
hasn't been
either.
convincing recently.
It's hard because like I don't think Alm is good enough to start either. But also,
I think he is good. I think Alm is one of our best wingers.
This guy's a certified Jared Stroud lover.
No.
Yeah, I mean Stroud definitely better than Celio without a doubt.
Oh, yeah,
in my
for sure.
mind.
Yeah.
But I still think that maybe he had those 2 out of 2 completed dribbles because he wasn't even dribbling when he lost it. He would lose it like before he even
Could do anything with it.
Yeah.
I think Alm should start because I also think Ostrak has been playing out of his socks coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Ever since we stopped starting, a man comes on and just produces a goal.
Yeah, the guy comes on and he just has like 110% like work rate. Like
He's just locked in.
he sprints and he's really fast actually. Like he's surprisingly fast and he'll come on and he will just boost the energy on the field by like so much. He really brings a lot off the bench.
I want to see Jensen. He's also one of the highest paid players, I believe, on St. Louis City. He's a
Jensen.
prodigy. You know, maybe he hasn't been.
Prodigy. Wow.
Hey, well,
He was only 19. He was highly recruited.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And, I mean, you know, it's going to take some time. He's coming back from injury, but I would much rather see him start over Celio.
Maybe I sound like a Brexit geezer here, but I think that no 19-year-old should be starting anywhere near a
What
real
about
soccer team.
Miggy Perez?
I think Miggy is better off the bench.
Okay,
I think
fair enough.
to develop, these kids need time off the bench.
You do sound like a Brexit geezer, yes, but I agree. I do think the midfield of Pogba, Iniesta, and Conte, a.k.a. Blom,
Hey, Blom,
Lubin, and
Let's give Blom his
Vasiljev.
flowers. real
Yeah, I was
quick.
going to say, that midfield should be the
Set in
midfield
stone.
for the rest of time.
Yes.
Until Bellingham, a.k.a. Perez, you know, he can rotate in there. He could probably play any of those. Well, I don't know.
I
He
think-
definitely likes to be deeper, but
Mhm.
I think he does have ability to kind of play in multiple different positions.
And we did kind of see after we made some subs, it looked like we were testing out the 5-3-2 or
Definitely.
5-4-1.
Yeah.
So we had Nelson come on, and then we had Bartlett, Parker, and Heber as the back three, and then we had Blom shift over to the right wing back. So that was kind of interesting to see. It looked like maybe Carnell was practicing that to see if we can, apply that for other teams.
I think he
And
wanted
what-
the clean sheet.
How'd it go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Unfortunately, they scored afterward.
they literally got in between two center backs for a
Yeah.
header,
Yeah.
easy header.
But you had said, let's give Blom his flowers, and I agree.
Yeah,
Because
true.
it's
Let's
easy.
rewind.
Well, not only, I mean, like everybody can see all the tackles he makes, but a huge underrated aspect of his game is crazy how calm he is. He gets the ball and can dribble or turn
Hold
and
it.
then pick a good pass. Like a true masterclass. Truly, I don't know. Very,
Yeah.
very good performance
think-
from him.
I think it's good to have Miggy off the bench because I think if Blom just keeps playing as well as he's been playing, at some point he's going to get picked up by a team that is, better than an MLS team, and then we'll have his replacement ready to go at age 20. Miggy Perez start off the bench,
I mean, Miggy could get picked up by another team too.
Yeah, but
That's-
he's a Lou boy, so
Yeah, true.
we'll see.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely that Blom will get picked up. I really think Blom is probably going to get picked. He's crazy, man. He's so good.
But
Plus, he's going to play. He was on the preliminary roster for South Africa for their game against Morocco. I don't know if it's a qualifier for something, but I'm pretty sure he's going to start for that team. And if you're starting for your national team, I don't know, he
everybody
could definitely get picked up.
talks about Klauss so highly, but when we lost Klauss and everything was doomsday, it's all falling apart. As soon as he came back, balance was restored to the force. It
Yeah.
wasn't Klauss.
Yeah, we lost Klauss and Blom at the same time,
Yeah.
and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, it's because we don't have Klauss." But
No, it's 'cause
maybe
we
it's
didn't
really
have Blom.
because we didn't have Blom.
I really think it was because that lets Indiana go up a little more and it lets Lewin not be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Lewin was looking like he was about to throw a temper tantrum when Blom wasn't playing.
Yeah.
every pass.
Hopefully Lutz signs Blome on a Prison FC contract for the next Todd Bowley 8.5 year contract.
An NBA contract.
That would be ideal.
That would be ideal. And I think our fans do enough to get people to stay. I don't think he's going to leave anytime soon. How old is Blome? Like 23?
He's pretty young, I think. Yeah. Yeah, he's 23.
I think ball knowledge
23?
increase.
That's crazy.
Yeah, younger than me.
No, but I love how Blome can, like, get the ball passed to him from a center back, and he's one of the few players, I feel like, who will always turn, like, with the ball and look for a forward pass. No matter if there's defenders on him, like, he's just very, very composed with the ball, very calm. He can body players, like, he doesn't lose the ball. He wins the ball. That's it.
And that's the attribute that he has that our other midfielders don't have, is that he can make that turn without losing the ball.
Easy, big fella, easy. Did you see the masterclass performance that Indiana Vasiljev produced?
Yeah.
I think when people look at this game, they're probably going to be like, all right, Lewin, man of the match, or whoever. But I personally feel as though Vasiljev was the standout performer. Man probably got fouled like 25 times. Exaggeration. He probably got fouled a lot. Less than 10.
Was fouled 5 times.
5? Okay. But he also, there were a few where he should have been fouled, but they didn't call it. But he was dribbling like a madman. It seemed like he never lost the ball. And he was doing crazy one-touch passing with, like, Lewin and Gioacchini and sometimes even Blome. And he was literally just running the game in the opponent's half. And, he won the foul for Lewin's goal. And although he didn't have a goal or assist, it seemed as though everything was going through him. And Jonah did point out, like, how hard he works on defense. And it's true. Even in, like, the 85th minute, man was doing full field sprints at 100% effort. And, like, even to not get the ball, it just seemed like he was doing it all. My perceptions have completely changed about the club. Indiana Vasiljev is the best player on the team.
On the team, wow. I think that's a hard statement to make. I think it's even hard to give a man of the match in any of our games, because everybody seems to be learning how to do their job correctly.
I just think, I don't know. I mean, against KC, 2 goals and a penalty won, but then this game after, where he didn't get on the score sheet, but still it seemed to me like he dropped a 10 out of 10 performance. And I don't know, when he gets the ball, you just know that he can cook whoever is on him and then find a good pass, as long as someone doesn't let him down like Stroud at the end. But
looking more and more like a Villa player.
Yeah.
Looking like a mix of
Jack Grealish,
John McGinn, and Douglas Luiz all combined.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
Player comp.
And Iniesta.
He's so good. He's got 4 player comps in one.
Yep.
I agree. I do think he can continue to get better too. I think we probably haven't even seen the best out of him yet, which is exciting to see.
I saw the best.
I want to see him.
Then he's got the star emoji eyes right now. He's shell shocked.
Wowed by his performance.
Give him a smooch.
Like that one where he did a whole 360, but it wasn't a roulette. He I don't even know how to describe
Anthony'd
it.
that mug.
Fidget
spinner.
So I guess getting back to the game.
No, let him cook. Let him keep smooching.
Well, I would be interested to see Vasiljev playing with Klauss in the 10 role, because I don't think that's something we saw.
Oh, man, that's going to throw a whole wrench.
I think that could be crazy, because then, I don't know, maybe what they could do is Klauss, so same formation that they run in now, like the 4-2-3-1 type beat, with Klauss up top and move Gioacchini to the wing, because I do feel like, I don't know, I'm not the biggest 2-striker enjoyer. I feel like, and Gioacchini can be used on the wing. And
Gio's not a true striker anyway.
Yeah, and it's a weak spot. Like Celio, goodbye. Unless Jensen playing, put Gioacchini out there?
No, it's because Alm is hurt. That is really
What have you been seeing? Sorry, go ahead.
That is really a good question, though. What happens once Klauss is back? If we just immediately go back to the 4-4-2, because yeah, that was working, and I know Carnell likes Gio, but
we were
our 4-2-3-1 with Vasilev as the 10 is just it
OP.
looks so good. There's no way we can change it. I don't.
Plus,
think.
even when Klauss was playing, still we were kind of scraping wins. We weren't producing. I feel like Vasilev at the 10. I think Gio might have to sit because I think Vasilev at the 10 is actually creating goals, whereas before Klauss was hurt, we were getting goals. Klauss was just in the right place at the right time. We were relying on the press to create mistakes and put away. At least now we're actually creating goals as a team instead of just relying on a one form of attack, which is press them until they mess up.
I will say it's good to have options, though. With Klauss coming back, we will have multiple ways that we can approach games, and that's something that we didn't have for the past few weeks. So
maybe Gio just goes in as the 10, and then
Vasilev.
and then Vasilev starts over Celio
on the wing.
Yeah.
No, Vasilev must be 10. I would rather have Gioacchini on the left by far. And I don't know, it just seems like that just makes sense to me. He would do better than Celio at everything on the left wing, and I don't know. Or Jensen.
I think
sounds kind of OP when I think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that Gio has the lowest work rate out of any of those players. Celio, Alm, Vasilev, Klauss, Stroud. So if everyone's healthy, I think Alm is starting on the wing over Gio just for the work rate and the press aspect.
Yeah, you can't be lazy and a winger.
Yeah, that's fine. Gioacchini can sit on the bench. It doesn't matter as long as as long as the midfield three stays the same. You could put Mickey up top and we'll win.
It's an upgrade. Also, Marlon is somewhere having a stroke right now. Just you can sense that somebody said that we should bench
shit on
Gio.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, hey, I was giving him his flowers earlier today. I'm still a supporter of him, but I still think Klauss is better.
Yeah.
But I would be happy to see him on the left wing.
I would too, especially with Alm out.
It could be kind of mean to have an Ostrak Gioacchini super sub moment off the bench. 65th minute.
Yeah, especially Gio running at tired legs of center backs.
Yeah.
He's really fast, and we saw that in the Sporting KC game. He was running in behind like crazy, and I think if you're going up against a tired team, that could really work.
We also are having this conversation like every week. Klauss doesn't get a further comeback date.
He's still feeling something.
Did somebody shoot him? What? From what I remember, he went down without contact. Obviously that can be pretty bad, but
yeah, he walked off the field.
Yeah, and "We'll be together soon, brother" to Gio, which was a lie.
Soon could be 2 weeks. Maybe he'll be back this week. Please.
I don't know. I think it's very exciting because I think right now we have a great foundation. We're an expansion team. We're not playing like an expansion team, but we are an expansion team. And not only that, but we have big names still on the bench that are hurt. That's impressive. I mean, what if Klauss comes back with Nilsson?
Yeah.
And what if Nilsson really is that guy?
True.
And we're like, how can we elevate even further? I'm excited for that. I think Nilsson can bring a whole nother level to this team.
One more thing I'll say before we get back into the timeline of the game, related to your expansion side point. So after that win, St. Louis City is the fastest expansion team to reach 25 points in their debut season. So we're just breaking records, left and right.
The commentator last night was like, we keep talking about this team like it's an expansion side, but really we should be. It's not. we can't act like it's an expansion side anymore when we're gonna make the playoffs and probably make a pretty good playoff push. And I don't Okay, that was a little too. I'm getting a little too amped up over here, but I mean, having that kind of depth, we have good depth. We got great.
All right,
you
easy
know.
on the depth. We have no striker right now off the bench.
Okay, but once Klauss, I mean, Gio's a good backup.
No fullbacks. That's what I'm concerned
I
about.
think we've resigned ourselves to just having defensive fullbacks,
Yeah.
which
that's
I'm not a
fine.
fan of because I like watching good soccer, but it seems
No.
pretty good for the MLS. So
Yeah. So I guess getting back into the game real quick, we'll just talk about the end. We talked about Ostrak and Perez coming on. Vancouver scored in the 83rd minute. That was just like a cross. And
nervous.
Yeah.
Made me
It was-
real nervous.
Yeah, 2-1 in the 83rd minute. Yeah, we were kind of, worried sitting there. I was like, man, they say a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead to have because if the opponents score one, then they have all the momentum. They just need one more to tie. So I was definitely a little worried after conceding that one in the 83rd minute. There's still, at least 10 minutes to play. But then in the 94th minute, I guess 93rd minute, we subbed on Jonathan Bell, our center back that we haven't really seen play, and Aziel Jackson for Gio and Indy. But then a minute later, we scored the third goal. So, yeah.
Vaslev, beautiful standing ovation. Okay, maybe not standing, but the crowd applauded his heroic performance.
It was
hard
a
not to
standing
be
ovation
a standing O when
because-
everybody's standing.
Yeah, I
everyone's
guess
standing.
so. Yeah.
Sorry to take the words right out of your mouth there.
It's just a fact.
In that goal, it was like, Lewin free kick, saved, Ostrak, speed demon, somehow got there before the goalie got it.
I don't want to make
Pass-
this too blue lock, but that was some blue lock shit right there, man. Dude, he can smell a goal. I swear to God, he comes on and he knows where the ball's bouncing. Sorry.
Yeah, got the ball, passed it back, top of the, towards the penalty spot. Might have got a little deflect on there. And
Miggy was running in.
and hit that mug top corner.
Top
Yeah.
bins,
He
mate.
didn't even need to.
Nope.
He just did. And then then the crowd literally went insane, and you could tell it was a great moment for him. First home goal. He hit the
Disbelief
and then
celebration.
a mean knee slide. I was
Yeah, he needs
I
to
don't know.
teach Klauss how to do that.
that knee slide was vicious. It was a great. I don't know. It was
Yeah.
awesome. For
Pandemonium.
He celebrated right in front of me and Danny.
Yeah.
And it was great because, the whole team ran over. They all dogpiled on him. The stadium was going crazy. Yeah, it was great. I mean, you could tell, when he subbed on, I think I already said this, but the stadium already went crazy for him when he subbed on. And then he scored a few minutes later. I mean, it was just... It
To ice
was
it
bonkers.
in a moment where it didn't feel like it felt
For
like
real.
they could have pulled out a draw
Yeah.
pretty
Agree.
easily because that header goal was way too easy for them.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, they were getting through us pretty easy back and forth, and then you just get in a nice cross where apparently our center backs don't know how to defend.
Hey, easy.
And you're talking
got
about Tim
Delit
Parker.
back
Tim
there.
Parker went up for that header. Boy
All right,
didn't
all right.
even touch the ball. You think he's big? Go watch that goal. He's
right.
not that big.
I mean,
He
it was
big. He's not
maybe it
that
was
big.
the switch to the 5-4-1.
Definitely.
Yeah.
They took their foot off the gas a little bit, but then after that goal, honestly, the crowd kind of started bringing the energy to kind of
Mm-hmm.
keep them going or keep them on track. So
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
Hey, I wasn't there for it. I was watching from the couch. So, fake fan, true fans. I'm glad you guys got to witness Mickey's first MLS goal, and it was. I won't call it a game winner, but it sure felt like it.
Definitely sealed it and
Yeah.
was a fantastic way to end the game.
Blue lock moment for sure. I could see the smells on the screen. What a good show.
But let's talk a little bit about Stroud because he really triggered me. I've been a number
hate
one.
begins at the
I've been a
end.
number one Stroud supporter, but it seemed like every time he would cross it and no one would get it, and then he'd be like, I don't know,
Yeah,
he'd be mad,
throw
he'd
his
be
hands up.
complaining, And then, like, sometimes someone wouldn't pass it.
Shake my hand right now.
Someone wouldn't pass it to him. He'd be complaining. And, you know, he did have some good moments. He had some good dribbles, a few good passes and shots, but he also had some bad moments. But he just cried a lot. He was kind of got that Bruno Fernandes gene a little bit.
No.
But also I was surprised by how small he was. I always thought he was way taller. But
The camera adds 5 inches.
yeah, maybe. But I don't know. He's
had-
still good. I
Certified
guess, but
Stroud hater, certified Stroud lover. I am a firm believer that if all you're bringing to the side is your pressing ability, you should go play track.
He did hit the post with one of his shots, but I will say he had the lowest rating based on FOTMob's ratings for St. Louis City.
How'd Bartlett do?
Bartlett had a 7.4.
My man.
which
Imagine
was-
if it was a clean sheet.
The only people higher than that was Vasilev 7.6, Blom 8.0, and Leuven 8.4.
that's
feel
what
like-
I'm saying. The midfield
The midfield three, yeah.
Dude, I'm
Xavi,
telling you.
Iniesta, Busquets, and then Puyol in the back. That
Dude.
spine of the team is insane.
It was Blom, dude. The midfield, before Blom came back, we were in this basement having the conversation like, what the hell's going on with this midfield? They're buns. And then Blom came back and everybody could play their natural position, and it's beautiful. And also, I think it's very hard. I mean, I want to shout out Bartlett again because it's a hard thing to do to get a 7+ rating without a clean sheet for a defender. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
If he got a clean sheet, he probably would have been man of the match.
And big respect for Carnell realizing that Vasilev is cracked in the 10 position, and that, I don't know, I do think after that game, every time I see Leuven, I just think Pogba. Like, literally, I feel like he plays just like him, and I feel like he is better, a bit deeper, and I don't know, I feel like that those are just the natural positions, and with Blom there, that midfield three is winning the MLS Cup.
Hey, I love that. I think that second goal that Vasilev scored against KC sealed his starting spot for the rest of time on any team that he plays for.
Yeah.
Hopefully he sticks around here. His dad comes to the games, which is cool.
Nice. Do they live in St. Louis, or
No, I
is that
think
from out of town?
they're from across the pond, mate.
Oh.
I think his dad came in from. Where did he say? It wasn't even. Because he celebrated in front of him in the KC game. So maybe he wasn't at this game. Maybe he went back across the pond, but not England.
All right.
This is Cali, for anybody wondering.
Yeah. That
Right.
is the cat.
Well, Danny, thank you for coming all this way from Milwaukee to come see the game, come see your friends and your family, and thanks for being on the pod.
Thanks for having me.
You're a natural. Muhammad was pretty nervous his first time. He said like 4 words, and usually he has the most to say. So
the most controversial opinions.
my man really came on here and censored himself.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, we love you, Mo. Danny's better at the pod than you are,
Let's go.
and he's shorter than you are. Before you say anything,
All right. Well, yeah. I think.
Weird stray.
weird flex, but okay.
Yeah. So I think that's the pod. Yep. Great game against Vancouver. We will see you guys next Wednesday for our pregame analysis.
Yeah, and
so
keep an eye out for our interview.
Footage. Yep.
Footage. All right. Bye-bye, guys. Thanks for tapping in.
Yep.
I won't
Tune
drag
in next
this out.
time.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank you for watching this episode of Soul of the City, brought to you by First Touch Media and Anchor FM. Make sure to check us out on YouTube at First Touch Media, and all of our socials are at First Touch 314. Thank you for watching.